All right, it's one of my favorite times of the year. It's turkey hunting season, and today we're gonna show you how we utilize trail cameras to help with our turkey hunting scouting. Today we're out on a farm that we call the 500. Historically, this farm's been really good to us. We've had some awesome hunts. There's a lot of birds on it, but with that, there's a lot of different areas on this farm that the birds like to roost, and even more areas where they like to strut. And we utilize the Cuddelink system to tell us where the birds like to be at different parts of the day. This is a big farm, lots of acreage. We break it into a north farm and a south farm. And in today's video, we're gonna show you how we set up the Cuddelink system and also the cost savings associated with these networks. So let's get into it. All right, we're out on the north part of the 500 here. And if you're a turkey hunter, you know that one day turkeys, they're loud, they're on fire, they're screaming, they're easy to locate, easy to run a gun, easy to chase. And the next day they're quiet. And the days where they're quiet, that's where the Cuddelink system and running trail cameras can play a crucial role into how and where you hunt them. So first thing we're gonna do on the north part of this farm is we're gonna place our home unit on what we call the spiderweb plot. This is a centrally located area between multiple roosting areas and several different places that those toms like to come down and strut. All you need to do are four things. Number one, you need to have batteries and an SD card in it. Number two, you need to have an active cell plan on Cuddeback's website. Number three, you need to set a channel. My birthday happens to be October 7th, so I've set 1007 as that channel. And then four, run a cell test. Once that camera says success, your network is ready to start linking other remote cameras free of charge. All right, so our home unit is up and armed. Now it's time to get our remote cameras out. We just got done putting out our first remote camera, and just a couple things to keep in mind. When you're running a Cuddelink network, you can actually link up to 23 remote cameras to that one home unit. So a total of 24 units on one network, while only paying for one cell cam subscription. Number one, batteries and SD card. Number two, you need to have that channel set to the same channel that you set your home camera. So in this instance, it's my birthday, 1007. Three, I ran a link level on it, which is a super easy step that tells you how strong your signal is from this camera to the home unit. In running this network for the last 4 years, I can tell you anything over a 30 good is usually good to go. If we get less than that, then we either add a camera to the network or we get this camera a little bit closer to the home unit. But in this instance, we're good to go and start getting intel. All right, so this is the beach plot. For whatever reason on this plot, birds always seem to come in silent, and it's also a go-to spot for us, and it's a good spot for birds to kind of come and go throughout the course of the day. So we always have two cameras on this plot. We have a remote camera on the water down there. It captures the water and the logging road leaving this plot, as well as this other end of the plot, which kind of has a broad, wide view of the plot. So you get a flock of birds coming in. These cameras will show it. They usually come in here midday. So one tip that I have for you guys when setting up the Cuddelink system is how you link your remote cameras to the home unit. So in this north section, we've got one home unit and two remote cameras on our spiderweb plot. We've got two remote cameras on our beach plot. Our plan is to put two cameras on the pivot plot. However, the distance from that home unit on the spiderweb plot to the pivot plot is pretty far. So what we like to do is we like to position a remote camera between the spiderweb plot and the pivot plot to help link those cameras up, make that communication just a little bit more effective, and it increases the distance in which you can position those remote cameras. You know, not only are we increasing our signal strength between the two plots, we're also getting some content from the timber. So all in all, we've got 9 total units on this network. We're paying for one cell plan. 8 remote cameras, getting intel from 8 different spots on this farm, and it's really gonna help us out come turkey season, getting all that intel sent to us remotely. All right, we've got the north part of the farm covered with our north network. Now we're on the south part of the farm. Now, the south part of the farm, there's a lot to it. It's a super big tract of ground. We've got ag, we've got big food plots, we've got small food plots, we've got a lot of logging roads, we've got creek bottom, we've got switchgrass, we've got every variety of habitat that you could ask for in a piece of property. And the turkeys on this part of the farm like to use it all. So we're really gonna test the Cuddelink limits here on this part of the farm. We're gonna stretch out 18 remote cameras to our one home unit that we just got done setting up. Now, remember, the first step in setting up a Cuddelink network is getting your home unit out and established in a centralized spot on that network. We're gonna place remote cameras to the east, to the west, and to the south that are all gonna talk directly to this home unit. You need to have an active cell plan on Cuddeback's website, and you need to set a network channel. In this case, I set it to 0707, so that when we go set up all of the remote cameras on this network that will talk directly to this cell camera, we'll set those to 0707 as well, and that'll make sure that they're all on the same network. Now that we've got the home unit out, let's show you where we're gonna place our remote cameras and how we're gonna utilize this network to increase our turkey hunting chances come this spring. All right, first remote camera we're putting out just east of our main unit here on a little small half-acre kill plot, little clover plot. Typically, this is a no-go spot first thing in the morning. Birds literally like to roost right on this plot in these pine trees. So typically, when we start out the day, we'll set up in some of the bigger fields around it. We'll watch the activity remotely via the cameras. And if birds aren't talking one day, we need to get aggressive. This is typically a spot we'll try to slip into midday and capitalize on silent birds. So for our second remote camera on the south part of the farm, this is a spot that we always like to put a camera on. It's kind of a spot where we got some hardwoods here, we've got some pines, we got some switchgrass pockets. A lot of hens like to hang out in this part of the farm, which obviously hens bring toms. And you know, we like to monitor this part of the woods, you know, especially on days where it's like super windy out, birds aren't out in the fields. You can typically find them in this little pocket of the farm here. So for as many cameras as we run out in the food plots and out in the fields, we like to have a few in the hardwoods to monitor that activity, especially on big windy days like this when they're hanging up in the timber. This is a really good spot for that. So you got a little bit of everything that kind of converges here. Hens are in here pretty much year round with all these grass pockets that we've built for deer. It's also worked for turkeys, and just kind of a cool little spot here. So we always add a camera. All right, so we're out in the southeast part of the farm now. This is a big ag field, typically a really big strut zone for the birds in the spring. Now, the one part about this part of the farm is there's absolutely zero cell reception. But with the Cuddelink system, we're able to spread cameras throughout here. These cameras are gonna talk directly to that remote camera we just put out in the hardwoods, which is gonna talk directly to that home camera, and we're gonna get all the intel sent directly to our cell phones. And for free. All these cameras we're putting out here, free of charge. The only camera we pay for is that home unit that we started with on this network. All right, we're out in the nursery plot now. Quite a few good roosting areas around this plot. Birds typically like to strut out here at some point throughout the day. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna blast this plot with cameras. You know, with the Cuddelink system, we're not paying anything extra to have extra cameras out here. So we might as well get more intel from more parts of the plot so we really know what's happening. This plot's surrounded by pines that stand tall, not a lot of underbrush. So not a lot of run and gun opportunities on this plot. So we'll use the intel we get from the cameras to try to be as close as we can to the roost where they fly down and be in position before that sun comes up. All right, we're getting into another part of the farm that has absolutely zero cell reception, but it's a critical part of the farm because the birds spend a lot of time on it. So I'm gonna put a camera up on this land bridge here. We actually built this for whitetail, and the turkeys use it like crazy. They're gonna take the easiest path, and they literally will single file line across this land bridge. So great place to have a camera and see what's happening. Zach, while I'm doing this, Zach is gonna head over to the tater tot plot, put a camera on that. These two cameras are gonna link directly to the nursery plot. There's no cell service over here. There's cell service over there, only made possible with the Cuddelink systems. Let's break down the actual cost that we're gonna pay for running cameras on this farm versus what we would pay if we used the competitor products. All right, so on this farm alone, we're gonna be saving about $4,000 just this year alone by running the Cuddelink system. And on top of that, we're actually able to pull images from areas with absolutely zero cell reception to that link system and have that data transmitted to us. So we're not pulling SD cards, we're saving money, and we're getting tons of intel on this farm that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to get from our phones. Overall productive day here. Thanks to Cuddeback for coming out, helping us set up this farm once again, and getting all that intel sent to our phone and start putting together game plans for when turkey season opens up here in a couple weeks.